We are not able to hear you. Can you please talk again?
Am I audible to you? I can hear you clearly now.
So, shall we start with the session? Is it good to go, everyone? Okay, so sorry for the delay, for the 10 minutes delay due to some issues in the connectivity. So, good evening, students. So, let me introduce our speaker. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker today, Mr. Ajay Pawriya, product designer at Bluelearn and a freelancer. Mr. Ajay helps beginners start and upskill their UX design journey, also helps businesses build beautiful, easy to use, and scalable products. Now, he is going to speak on the topic fast tracking your UX design career, learn how to break into UX design field, and then how to upskill like crazy. So, please give a round of applause for our speaker, Mr. Ajay Pawriya.
Hello everyone. Can I have fire or one in the chat so my audience is quite energetic today? I heard Designwings is a really good platform for new UX designers. If it's so, I would love to have some fire emojis or any kind of emoji in the chat. Great. Awesome, awesome. Vedant is saying my audio is not clear. Just let me know if it's just one-off case with Vedant or is it really not very clearly audible to everyone. Oh, nice. Okay, let me try changing my microphone. Awesome. It should be better now. Is it clear now? It should be crispy clear. Great, great, great. So today is Saturday, and on a weekend, you all are over here learning UX or trying to upskill yourself. So first of all, give yourself a big, huge round of applause to yourself, not to me, not to anybody else, to yourself that you are passionate about being a UX designer, passionate about cracking into the UX design field, breaking into the UX design field. A good emoji in the chat would be really good. Emojis in the chat show that you are active. You are not sleeping over here. You are not sleepy heads. So any emojis, any reactions on the meet, that would be really good. Mathan is over here. Yuvraj is giving an emoji. That's good. Sneha is here. They find some awesome names over here. Yash Reware, new surname. Gaurav, Nitin, good, good. Rochelle, hearts to you as well. Lovely. So, awesome, awesome. So, I'll start by introducing myself. Let me just share my screen real quick. Contact, I will share. Let me know if this is visible or not. By the way, is it okay if I open my camera, uh, guys? Rochelle, design wings. Will it be okay? Lovely. Hello. Once again, hello. Cool. You can see my screen. That's a good thing. I'll have to quickly jiggle between both the windows. One is my Figma window. I created my presentation, very short, crisp presentation, nothing too fancy about it. So we'll start really quick. The whole presentation is about fast tracking your UX design career. I'm sure you all must have already started learning UX design from Designwings, and I've heard some really good reviews about Designwings, so that's good. In this presentation, we are not going to talk about how to get started into this. We'll talk about if you started and how you can upskill yourself into this field. And once you've upskilled yourself, once you're confident about your skills, how can you get your first internship or first any kind of paid work that you want? So we'll be talking about that. Is the agenda clear with everyone? One in the chat. I need one in the chat. So we are clear that okay, yeah, everybody knows what we are going to talk about. That's good. That's good. Thanks, Yash, Neha, Rushil. Awesome. Good, 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 good. I learned it from Bluelearn. Yeah, that's good. All right. So yeah, hey everyone, I'm Ajay Pawriya. I'm the product designer at Bluelearn, and I started my journey, let's say 3 years back, almost 3 years back. I tried multiple things. I tried digital marketing. I tried affiliate marketing. Of course, some people would say affiliate marketing is a part of digital marketing, but let's just consider it. I tried drop shipping as well. I tried blogging. I tried tons of things, and then eventually I landed on to UX design, and I found out okay, this is the field that I need, that I feel passionate about. So yeah, and also like you can read over here, I believe in taking a different path, because if you take the path that everybody is taking, you're gonna end up where everybody has ended up. So be with me, whatever you're gonna learn, whatever I'll be able to tell you about my journey so far. If you take proper notes of it, I can personally guarantee that within the next week, if you apply this properly, you can maybe land a good opportunity to yourself. So let's go. In this whole presentation, we will be covering two aspects. Like I've divided this whole presentation into two parts. First is how to upskill yourself in UX design, and second is how to get your first paid work within 7 days. Now 7 days के ऊपर एक consider an asterisk over 7 days. Only if you work like I'll be telling in this whole presentation, definitely I guarantee you that that will happen. And if you don't, then it will be up to you how you take that forward. But yeah, the whole presentation in two parts. First is how to upskill yourself in UX design. Second is how to get your first paid work within 7 days. So let's start. Now, there are multiple ways you can upskill. You would see a lot of Instagram content creators. You would see a lot of Twitter content creators, LinkedIn, Dribble, Behance. What do? They redesign anything just for the sake of it, or they take daily UI challenges that everybody is doing. Like you would see people making landing page UI designs just out of nowhere. You would see people redesigning WhatsApp just for the sake of it. They don't have any base around it. So they are just following the crowd that's around them. Like they saw somebody posting on Dribble that okay, you need to redesign something, or they heard somebody on a video in a video that okay, to improve their UI skills, you have to work redesign something. That's good to an extent. That's true to an extent, but if you are a UX designer, there's a difference between UI and UX designer. I hope you know. As a UX designer, like most of our work is towards soft skills or interpersonal team communication or the research part of it, problem solving aspect of it. So we'll be diving deep into that. But here are some ways that you can upskill. A quick summary is do UX design challenges and not UI challenges. Bear with me over here. I'll tell you how to do those and how to come up with those. Working with a team, scratch your own edge. Yeah, cliche line, but it means solve your own problems first. Observe around you whatever products that you are using every day. For example, let's say you are using Spotify app and you see yourself using Spotify app and you can't really figure out what the person is saying on a podcast because of their accent. Let's say I'm just giving an example. You are hearing to, let's say, Joe Rogan's podcast, but because of his accent you can't really understand what are they talking about. So what would be, this is a problem statement, you can't understand. So how do you design a solution for that? Okay. So this solutioning comes afterwards. First, you have to find the problem first. So always bear that in mind. Now, solutioning could be that you provide a captions feature for podcasts. Proper solution is that. Second is that you allow maybe give a transcript of the whole podcast that the creators by themselves can do. And fourth one is to practice in constraints. Practice in constraints, what I mean by that is, you don't just start doing a project, because in your practice time and in your actual job time, or in when you are actually working in a real time job, there are very less similarities. While you're in job, you are put into so much constraints. You have to follow brand guidelines. You have to work within a time constraint, that okay, we need this design within 7 days. You have to work with a team that might not be able to understand what you are trying to say. That they might not be able to understand the design decisions you made. So how do you communicate those with them? So all four of these points eventually get onto one single aspect, that you need to understand how to work in a team, how to work in a real job. All the Instagram posts, all the LinkedIn posts you see online would tell you how to improve yourself as a UX designer, but not they don't tell you how to work within a team, how to work in a real job when you are there. So we'll be talking exactly about that. Now, let's deep dive into each one of those. First is do UX design challenges, not UI challenges. How many of you heard of daily UI or 100 days of UI challenge? Good. Give me a one in the chat or anything. How many of you heard daily UI challenges, 100 days of UI, or let's say redesign challenges? You might have heard of this. Yeah, Muskan was about to start with it. You will not start with this. I'll tell you why. Good, good. Great, 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 great. Now, unlearning point for you. We are not going to do UI challenges. We are going to do UX design challenges. Understand the difference between both. UI challenges are just merely making the screens look more pretty than they already are. For example, you see WhatsApp app and you are like, okay, I don't like this design. I need to make it more beautiful. Of course, UI is a part of UX, but making it beautiful is not the only aspect of it. So that is UI design. But when it comes to UX design, you solve the problems. You first identify what is the problem that you are facing with existing WhatsApp design. If you are not facing any problems, don't give yourself the headache of designing it. Don't give Behance the headache of posting it. Don't give your recruiter the headache of even reading your case study. ठीक है? First, come up with a problem statement. Like I said, scratch your own itch. Whatever apps, whatever websites you go on to, whatever offline products you use, if you face any problem with those, start solving those problems. Always start with the problems that are your own. That's how a UX designer thinks. They don't think with solutions first. They start thinking in problems first. For example, if I tell you, what sort of projects would you add in your portfolio? You would be like, I'll do a AR VR clothing app design. I'll do a landing page design for SaaS app. I'll do, let's say, a QR scanner for WhatsApp or anything like that. Now, all of these are features. All of these are solutions. None of them are problem. You should always be starting with the problem, that okay, I am facing this problem, and that's how I will be starting with it. I'll be validating this problem statement. I will be let's say I'll be doing user research. I'll be doing computer research to understand if this problem statement exists or not, and then come on to the part of solutioning. Solutioning is the last part always. Last second part. The last part is of course testing and all. There are some websites that you can go to. Let's say, what is this? Crown.com? I hope so. There's a website called crown.com that you can refer to. They regularly post UX design challenges. Although it's just a reference, keep this as a reference that you want. I would encourage you to find products or apps, websites near you that you are facing a problem with. Like I gave you an example of Spotify. If you face any other problems with YouTube app, if you face any other problems with Gmail app, what is that problem that you're facing, and how can you solve it? That's how you should go with it. Good. Yeah, we'll take questions afterwards, Sana. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Next is work with a team. Oh my God, I don't know how many times I've seen people asking me for advice, and I tell them, okay, when you are in a job, when you are in let's say doing freelancing, not only 9 to 5 job. When you are doing freelancing, you are communicating with the client, you are communicating with fellow freelancers, you are communicating with product managers, developers. So that communication skill comes when you actually develop that skill. Now if you are not communicating with them often, how are you supposed to communicate with them when you get a job? So working with a team helps you, helps you in that. Let's say you have a team of three people, three designer in your team. One of them says, I want to go ahead with minimalistic design for this product. One of them says, I want to go with brutal design with that product. One of them says, I want to go with gradients design. Now your ability to come to a decision, okay, which one should we go ahead with, is going to tell you, is going to tell whether you are ready to work in a team or not. That's why I always suggest everyone to work with a team when they are in the initial stages of the career. I can see we have 27 people, 27 people in this call. I would strongly suggest all of you after this call, maybe, or whenever you get time, form a team of three or, and I also love the latest UI man, Yuvraj. I would suggest you form a team of three or four people, four users or four people, friends with you, and divide the work between yourself. After this call, not right now, or whenever you get the time. Um Focus on a problem statement. Define a problem statement. For example, just for an example, you are not able to, like I told you, this Spotify example, you are not able to understand the accent of that particular person who is speaking the podcast, and you want to build a solution for that. You want to design a solution for that. So you build yourself a team. Let's say three designers. One of them is good in research, one of them is good in designing, one of them is good in, let's say, testing part. So you divide the work in all three of you. That will allow you to understand how working in a team is really like. So really great advice I can give you today. Right after this call, I would like all of you to form teams with your friends, with your peers, and start building a project. That is a problem statement that you are own facing. Like I mentioned, scratch your own itch, solve your own problems first. Spotify is just an example. Just find yourself, find your own problems, and go ahead with that. Practicing in constraints. This is optional because this is more of an advanced thing. In case you want to go one level up than you're currently at. But in case you want to hear it, it's like binding yourselves within constraints while taking on a project. For example, this Spotify project that I told you right now. Uh, Put yourself in constraints. Constraints would be that the user does not have good internet connection. So how are they going to use this feature? Okay, so it means they can't view it in a video format, they can't view it in image format perhaps, so only the text format is available. Another constraint would be that you will only be utilizing Spotify's existing design system. You can't redesign Spotify app just for this feature. Another one could be to put yourself in time constraint. Tell your team of three or four people that we have to complete this particular feature. We have to complete start to end of this feature within, let's say, 1 month or two days, 3 days, whatever the time frame that suits you. um, these constraints really help you to nurture yourself for when you're ready to go into a job. Okay, this is about the ways you can upskill yourself. These are the four ways, like all of them are interlinked with each other. Any questions about these? Then we'll move forward. Cool. It looks more like everybody. If you understood, give me a thumbs up, give me a one in the chat, and then we'll move forward. And if you have any question, put them in the chat. That's also good. Good. Awesome. Awesome. Great, Bhavik, Muskan, Satyam, Vedant, that's good. Through fourth point, you meant designing for worst cases, sir. Don't call me sir. I don't like being called sir. Call me Ajay, that's fine. Practicing constraints. Not worst cases actually. Practicing in constraints mean that you are taking the job while limiting yourself. For example, I told you the example of brand constraints. You can only use Spotify's brand guidelines. Now, this is not a worst case. This is a completely different thing. This is a brand guideline. Whenever you take projects, it will always be like that. You have to follow a particular brand guideline. So it's not worst case actually. Um, Yuvraj will come to that experience at Bluelearn. I don't think we'll have time for that. If the design challenges on Crown or websites are not going well, is there a way to get pro help tips, something like which will tell us what are the loopholes? Um, I didn't get your question, Saurabh. But cool, we'll save that for later. We'll move ahead. We are actually short on time. We have half an hour more. Cool. Next is how to get your first paid UX design gig. I'm sure you all must be excited for this. At least I was when I took my first workshop, and it was about how to get your first gig in UX design. They didn't promise anything. How many days it will you get? But I can guarantee over here that if you follow these particular steps that I tell you, this will definitely work for you. But for getting a UX design gig, you first of all need a portfolio. How many of you have portfolio? A very well established portfolio. Not well, very well. How many of you have portfolio right now? How many of you have portfolio over here? Give me a hands up, give me a thumbs up, give me an emoji, anything. Great, great, great. So I've already shared his portfolio link. That's good. I do. Yes, Shivare, you don't have. That's good. That's all right. You can work on that. That's good. That's good. I see 70% of audience has portfolio. That's good. If you don't have it, then I think it's a plus point for you because um, I'll tell you what projects you can have in your portfolio. Of course, you can have multiple projects according to your own niche, but these are the categories that I've defined them into. First is to always have design system or a UI kit. Now, take these with a pinch of salt because if you are in, let's say, um, in a particular automotive industry, the design system UI kit will be made according to that, and it might already you might already find a let's say community file for that or anything like that. So these three steps can be applied to any industry, any particular domain you are in. If you are into web design, but all of you would be UX designers, but just in case if any of you are in UX design, you would be able to understand, you would be able to apply all three of these points to your domain. If you are more into edtech platforms, if you are more into fintech platforms, health tech platforms, or any kind of that, so these three are just categories, or you can say properties that are applicable to all three domains. So we'll go into that. So don't worry if you are like, I like health tech projects more, or I like edtech projects more. So I'll only be taking those. That's good. That's good for you. But these three are sort of guidelines for you how to, what sort of projects you have in your portfolio. First is design system UI kit. Why design system UI kit? How many of you know what is a design system? How many of you know what is a design system? I don't need explanations. I just need one in the chat or an emoji or anything. So I know what exactly is it. Good, good, nice, nice. Any emoji works. That's great. Muskan, Rahul, Shelja, Vidushi, Yuvraj. That's good. That's good. Hussein. Good. So, if you know what design system is, it will. Now, what does it mean for the recruiter? When the recruiter is viewing a portfolio and they see a design system, it will make them think that okay, this guy knows, this guy or girl knows that how to make design systems and why are they necessary. Design systems help in scalability, design system helps in velocity of design production and everything like that. So if you can clearly explain how did you start building this design system? What framework did you choose? There are multiple frameworks for design system. The most common one is atomic design system. If you might have heard of it, you start with the smallest block, let's say colors, typography, effects, and everything. Then the next block, that is, let's say, avatars, um, subtitles, or you can say buttons, of course. Third block comes in when there are cards, there are testimonials, there are and complex things. So it's all about atomic design system. Having a design system in your portfolio communicates to your user or communicates to the recruiter that who is viewing your portfolio, that you understand why are design system necessary and how to make them. You don't have to go very fancy in it, you don't have to design it really good. You just have to know the basics of it, that okay, why is it necessary, why do companies create it, and how does it help in um, the actual project building process, the product building process. Second one comes in with optimized UX flow. You might be confused what this is, but I'll explain you. It shows the impact that you brought after you implemented a design system. For example, I'll tell you. For example, let's say Designwings website. Right now, let's say you're a product designer at Designwings, and you see that they're not following a particular design system. Of course, they will be following a design system, but let's say they're not following a design system, and there are 90% drop-offs on the checkout page of any course, course purchase flow. So, and you introduce a design system that makes the user flow more intuitive, that makes the user more delighted to use that whole platform, and it reduces down that particular metric that you're talking about. In our case, it is a drop off rate. So let's say from 90%, it reduces it down to 70% or 60%. So optimize that UX flow, show that UX flow. Your question would be now is that if it is a practice project, how do you show that percentage? You don't show that percentage. If you are working with a practice flow, you create your own assumptions, or you let's say do some rule of thumbs, uh, that okay, if you add these verification badges on checkout page, users are more likely, they are more comfortable with the website, they are more confident about the trustworthiness of the website, so that's why they end up having more purchases with that particular website. So it is an assumption, or let's say a proven fact, you can say. So have include that while you're creating a portfolio. A second project, that is optimizing UX flow, you can add that into your portfolio, whether it is fintech portfolio, edtech portfolio, health tech portfolio. These 3 points are not limited to a particular set of domain. It's up to you how you go about that. Third type of project is the aesthetic design project. In the first project, it you showed to the recruiter that you know how design systems work, you know why they are necessary, you know that they help in scalability, you know that they help in velocity of design production. Second project, communicated with the recruiter that you understand the business metrics, you understand how design adds value to organization. Now third one is for yourself as a designer, because as a designer you should also know how to present things, how to present them in a beautiful manner, how to make them look pretty, of course, like dribble shots, you can say. If you are designing design Bing's ka home page or landing page, it should be beautiful to look at, because it's a design, let's say UX design, education platform. So it should be appealing to its target audience. So these are the three types of projects you should definitely have in your portfolio. I see a lot of designers having portfolio of projects as, let's say, Telegram redesign, WhatsApp redesign, let's say 3D AR VR app. That are there just for the sake of it. They are not providing any value. But if you add these in your projects, it explains to the recruiter that you are ready to work in a team, you are ready to work in a company, and not just some fancy work that you are doing. Cool. This can apply to any niche industry expertise. Good. Can I have one in the chat or any emoji in the chat that you are all understanding what I'm saying? Good. If you have any small minor questions, we can you can ask them right now also. But we will have a proper Q&A session after the entire presentation also. That's good. That's good. Good, good. Second point once again, optimized UX flow. So in this particular project, you are going to show what do you know about business metrics. Let me tell you some of the common business metrics. You might have heard of retention rate. You might have heard of drop offs. You might have heard of, let's say, um, average order value, average transaction value, or daily active users, or monthly active users. These are all business metrics. Business cares about them. The co-founder, the CEO, they care about these metrics. So if you're able to communicate it in your portfolio, that okay, you understand what these metrics mean, and you are working towards improving these metrics. That is the whole second project is all about. Whatever you have worked in first project, how is it going to impact the business metrics in a good way? Good, good, nice. Right, moving on next. Everybody ready to level up? Ready to level up. We understood how to upskill. First thing, we understood how to create a portfolio, a very top-notch portfolio that you can always be there. It doesn't have to be visually top notch. You can have it in Notion, you can have it in Medium, you can have it in Behance. Dribble also works because Dribble has now case studies ka option. But the whole point is to communicate your value as a designer. How are you going to add value to that company? Okay, awesome, great. I love this crowd. I love this crowd. You are so energetic, man. You have learned the most basic thing right now. Now it's time to level up. Time to get yourself a gig. First of all, what not to do. Like I told you in the beginning, I always take the different path, and I always recommend others to take the different path. Because the path that everyone is aware of, everybody takes that path, and that leads to a lot of saturation. Everyone's aware of LinkedIn, everyone's aware of Internshala, Indeed, Naukri.com, and now everyone's aware of HireAct as well. So whichever platform gets too much popular, it always gets saturation and the competition likely increases. So first step, you are not allowed to go there. I have heard people say that they have applied to 200 listings on LinkedIn. Literally, like I think 2 days back, one of my no, 2 days back, yesterday night only, one of my friend told me that he applied to 200 LinkedIn jobs for UX design and he didn't got one. I told him that's not surprise because there are thousand other members who are applying for this specific role. How are you supposed to stand out in front of them? So you are not if you apply on these ones, don't expect there very much good chances of getting yourself a job, and you will end up discouraging yourself as well. So don't go on this platform. I'll tell you how to go about it. What to do instead? Choose the path that nobody is aware of, because very less people have taken that path, and hence very less saturation is over there. Wait, these should not be here. Wait, nice. What to do instead? You have to take the path that is very less taken. Now, these are some of the platforms that you can go for. You might have heard of some of them, like AngelList is one of some very popular names, but yes, very less used. If you are looking for internships, or if you are looking to work in a startup, so AngelList is really good. But actually, I'll just share these names with you. Contra Worker Startup AngelList for sure. Startup, and then there is sure. Good. Contra is particularly for freelancing, and if I say more of it, it's more for premium freelancing. If you are very confident about your skills, if you have a really nice project that you can show, Contra is really great. You can get $500 to $5,000 gigs over there. So definitely try to check that out. Work at a startup. It's if you have heard of Y Combinator, it's a subsidiary of you can of that you can say work at a startup. You can create your account. You can define your preferences. What sort of role are you looking for? What sort of availability do you have? Are you available full time, part time, internship, founder, or anything like that? Same is for AngelList. Same is for Cutshort. But these are the platforms that are not so widely known, hence the competition is very less. But there is an even better way, that is cold emailing, and that is my personal favorite. I have sent around 6 to 7 cold emails so far, and I have received 80% response rate, and that's not less. I'm telling you, that's a really good response rate. You'd say, okay, 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 is not a lot of emails, but yes, come to that as well. Why is that not a bad thing? Good. No questions. Good. How to do cold emailing? Initially, I would suggest you try these out: Contra, Work at a Startup, AngelList, Cut Short. And if you don't seem to find your way with it, like maybe let's say in a week or something, that's okay, that's fine. But if you take cold emailing way, that's gonna be even better. You must have heard a lot of people on Instagram or LinkedIn say that cold emailing is dead. Nobody reads their email right now, and that what would come to your mind as well. Okay, I don't read my emails. I doubt that anybody else would read an email that I would send to them. Definitely a doubt. I understand that, but we'll come to that. Founders or product managers that you're going to send the emails to, they always check their emails, because most of their communications don't happen on WhatsApp. Most of their communications don't happen on Instagram. It happens through emails only, because emails may you have a way to track down which conversation happened and when did it happen. So cold emailing is the my personal favorite way to go ahead with, and if you take that, that will be really good. I'll tell you how to go about it, because if you don't do it right, that is not going to give you any good results. First foremost, target the company. You are not to send thousands of cold emails to any random companies that you see have an opening, or you don't see that they have an opening. You are going to target the companies that you want to work with. Let's say you find that, okay, if you're from Bangalore, you would know that there is a company called Yulu Bike. If you are passionate about working in Swiggy, then you would be like, okay, yeah, I so want to work in Swiggy, I want to work in Zomato, I want to work in Amazon. So target the company that you want to work with, company that you are passionate to work with. You might have seen their online reels, and you see, okay, they have a really good team. I would love to be a part of that team. So target that company first. First step. Let's assume you found Swiggy, Zomato, and Yulu bikes. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of Yulu, but yeah, three companies you have targeted, and you want to get a job at any three of those. Second part is to research about the company. This will take a lot of time. It should be taking a lot of time. Research about their companies, research about those companies, like research about Swiggy, research their social medias, what kind of content are they posting, research their website, what sort of website do they have, or do they even have a website or not, do they have an app or not, research their founders, who are their founders and what do they do, what is their background education, CEOs, product designers, etc., etc. I'll tell you why you need to research their founders and CEOs and product designers. Never research HRs, because HRs usually get tons of cold emails. Like I told you, take the path least taken. HRs usually get a ton of emails or LinkedIn messages asking for internship, asking for gigs or anything like that. So you have to target a person who has the authority to hire you, yet they are not directly involved in the hiring process. For example, founders, CEOs, product designers, product managers, they have the authority to hire you, but they are not sitting around hiring candidates. Okay, but if you approach them personally on a in an email, they will definitely look into your email. They will definitely look at your portfolio. They will definitely give a thought about your pitch. Second step, clear, research the company. Then comes writing the mail part. Before we get to that, any questions so far? Bluelearn design looks good. Awesome. Any questions so far for the first two steps? First, you target the company, target two or three companies that you want to work at. Preferably startups, not big companies like Amazon or Google or anything, because uh, there is a completely different process for that. But startups may like target two or three companies that you are passionate to work with, and then second step is to research about those companies. Uh, who are their founders? Who are their CEOs? Who are the product designers over there? And you can also research more about them on Crunchbase. Will give you info about did they get their from when did they get their funding, how much funding did they get, who are their founders. Of course, LinkedIn से पता चल जाएगा वो. But yeah, Crunchbase is also a really good thing. How to identify design mature companies? Really good question. Yes. See, I think it's more of a hit and trial method. You get on a call with somebody, or maybe let's say you are not able to get on a call with them. You see their app very well designed. You see their platform website very well designed. So you can safely assume that okay, they must have a really good design process within their company. That's why they are able to produce so much good designs. Okay, so I'm not criticizing Yulu over here, Yulu bikes, but they don't really have a good app design as say. So they might not have a really good, let's say, design maturity. So that's you can bring also, or if you choose not to join a company that doesn't have design maturity, that's also fine. But yeah, you have to assume over here. You have to do hit to try method. If they have a really good app or if they have a really good website or branding done, so they probably would have a really good design maturity also. Coming to the third part, the writing the email. How do you write an email? What to keep in mind? What should be the subject line, and who should you write it to? Like I told you, you should be writing it to the person who has the authority to hire you. Actually, let me put it down over here. So you can also tell who has the authority to hire you, yet does not indulge in hiring processes. Good work, Saurabh. These could be founders, these could be CEOs, these could be product designers, product managers, of course, sometimes. Refrain from sending emails to HRs because they already have tons of emails coming their way. So try to not do that. Now, who do you send email to? You send emails to an email. You don't send emails to a first name or last name. So how do you find their emails? You can make smart guesses over here. There are multiple patterns that you can follow. First name at company domain.com, first name dot last name at company domain.com, first name initial at domain.com. Now, for example, uh, my official URL is ajay at bluelearn.in. Now, this is an example uh, that is first name dot company domain dot company domain. Actually, this is also fine. First name at company domain.com, command C, command V. You have first name dot. Actually, no, that there should be an at over there. My bad. First name dot last name at company domain. There should be. I'm giving you some these things. Keep on spamming, man. First name initial. Now, what does that mean? Is a dot p a w r i y a. These are some smart guesses that you can make to find someone's email address. first name at company domain dot com, first name dot last name at companydomain.com. These two are the most common ones. Try these with every company you want. Uh, that will be more than enough. Second part is to write a subject line. It should be catchy yet not cliche. Founders, product managers get a lot of emails every day. Like I told you, their whole work, their whole scheduling, their whole management is done around emails. So it is very possible that your email might get lost in tons of emails that they get every day. How do you stand out? Is through writing a catchy subject line, add an emoji over there, make sure that emoji is not weird, try to keep it within the constraints, and make the subject line catchy. For example, if I'm writing to, let's say, Yulu bikes, I would say not Yulu bikes. There's a travel plan app. There is a Bluelearn app. There is multiple apps. The subject lines could be around their apps already. That okay. Congratulations on your first round of let's say investments. Congratulations on first round of fundraising. This like that. This like that. So this would shine up. This would show that you care about the company. Subject lines, you can experiment with them. You can try multiple subject lines. You can refer to online articles over there as well. On the top of the mind, these are the ones that I can think of to just give them an give them up, you can say, what is the right word for it, give acknowledgement or give them appreciation for their last achievement. Congratulations, give them a congratulatory note. That's good word. Okay, then comes the body of a particular email. How do you write the body? Because you can't have it very long. Nobody's got the time to read your rant. You have to be very specific. You have to be to the point. Yet convey your value as a designer. Always start with your intro. Let's say hi, greet, hi, name. Never say hey there, hello, dear dear company name, etc., etc. Always refer to them as their first name. If you're writing to founder, find out who is it are you writing to. For example, for Designwings, I might say, "Hey Puneet," and then comma, and then I write my email. If I'm writing it to Bluelearn, I would say, "Hey Harish" or "Hey Shreyans," and then I will write the whole email. So you have to greet a particular person. Who are you talking to? That will bring a lot of difference. Then start the email with something that you appreciate them for. If they have something that you like about their product, if they have a website that's really well done, tell them, okay, went onto your website, I researched about you, and first of all, congratulations on getting fundraising for this funding round, and I went onto your website, really good website, totally loved it. Give them some appreciation. Tell them that okay, you love their product. Every founder, every CEO love to hear good feedback about their product. Tell them a good feedback. Second is, tell them what is a small problem that you noticed that is causing them big issues. For example, I told you, let's say Designwings के course checkout page पे you don't have the verification badge marks by RuPay, PCI DSS, or anything like that, or return policy, or anything like that. So these are small problems, but they have really, big outcomes. They can lead to large loss to the company. To tell them, okay, yeah, these are the problems that I found in your product, and here is a small sample of how these can be solved. Now notice this. Notice this small term over here, sample design. You don't have to do complete redesign of that. You don't have to do a full-fledged design that takes you 3-4 days to complete that. Just do let's say 3-4 hours of sketching maybe, or 3-4 hours of low fidelity, mid fidelity design that can give value to that particular person who is reading that email. But okay, you understand what is the problem and you understand how it can be solved. So give them a sample of design that you can do, and even better, if you can attach a Loom video along with that email, that would be really good. Loom video, if you know, it's a recording of you going through the design of yours, explaining the design decision. Why did you take the design decision? That really helps a lot. Cool. And then end with thank you. Here is my portfolio. Here is here are my previous proof of work, and here are the clients that I worked with in past. I would love to work with your team if you have an open stop spot. Let's try to get on a call and see what happens. Simple. We did only two things, well, three things. First is in appreciate them about the product. Second, find a problem in the product, and third is to tell solutions about this product. And within solutions, you can provide sample designs or a loom video that explains them how did you come to the design decision, how did you come to that particular, let's say, button, how did you come to that particular tag or icon over there, and then you end it over there, telling them, okay, this is what I want from this email. If you have any openings for, let's say, UX designers, I would be more than happy to have you, more than happy to get on a call with you to understand, to take this further. Is this good enough? Yeah, we can elaborate on that, Husnain. I must be pronouncing so many wrong names wrong over here. But yeah, if you understand it, give me a quick thumbs up, give me a quick emoji, give me anything. Good. Any questions are also welcome right now for cold emailing. Good, good. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Vidushi, Saurabh, Muskan. What do we have next? Good. Awesome then. I think we sort this out. Husnan is good. Lovely. And yeah, that's all. We have enough time to take on questions. I have 10, 12 minutes to take on questions. If you have any questions, you can either unmute, or if you want, you can put them in the question box as well. This is the question box, right? Good. Whichever, wherever you want, you can put it in chat. You can put it in question box as well. Shelja is asking, what is better option according to industry standards, to have a Behance portfolio or to have a portfolio website? There are no such thing as industry standards. I have seen websites. I've seen people creating personal websites as well. I've seen UX portfolios on Medium. I've seen UX portfolios on Instagram even, like not a very good option to go with. I've seen UX portfolios on in Notion as well. Of course, in Behance. I would encourage you to create your own portfolio website if you have the time and if you have the resources for it. And otherwise, there's not a clear there's there's no backdrop to it if you don't do that, but it's always a cherry on top if you have your own portfolio website. By the way, you can use contra.com to have your own website, well, not website, a really good portfolio. Sir, can you show your some designs? You can find those on my portfolio. Let's take questions right now. You can find my portfolio, by the way, on LinkedIn or something. What are your thoughts on self-learning from courses available online? Is it enough to getting started? It is more than enough to getting started. Um, Courses available, I would not say courses available online. I would say resources available online. You have YouTube channels, you have articles, there are so many content creators online that give a lot of knowledge. So if you want to check out some YouTube channels, there are some. Let's say there is Ansh Mehra, there is NNG Group, there is Future, there is of course Puneet Chawla, there is who else is there? Content creators के अंदर there is Anudeep Ayagari, Nirod is also there, Nirod Palaska. Of course, Career Foundry. These are some really good resources that you can check out. Okay, Husnan, sorry I missed your question. Please try putting it again. Ajay, I want to intern at Bluelearn. Okay. Sachin Sahu, is it useful to do 100-day UI design challenge for developing good eye for design? Not 100-day UI design challenge. I would say if you want to do it for maximum 7 days. That will be more than enough for you. 100 days is too much. Definitely too much. If you have enough time, definitely go for it. But if you consider yourself as a UX designer, like you can thoda compromise a little on your UI design skills, because your analytical, your research skills, your communication skills within the team matter a lot more. Okay. Saptarshi Prakash, check QA. I made that there. I don't understand, bro. Difference between product and UX, UI designer. Okay, so you are writing the term UI slash UX. So I'm not really sure if you are considering them the same, but they're not the same, dude. It's like a circle. If it's fine, it's fine if even if you think all of them as same, because at the end of the day, I've seen companies using these terms interchangeably. But if you want to go deep dive into it, then I'll tell you. Like first comes let's say UI design, that includes all the visuals and everything. Then comes UX design that contains, um, of course, visual design. There comes interaction design. There comes information architecture. There comes research, testing, secondary research, primary research, user flows, everything that comes under UX design. Now, UX design is encompassed under product design. Product design can you have multiple things. You are working towards whole user journey outside of the app as well. Like whatever product you are working on, it could be out of your product. Okay. Then comes customer journey. Sorry, customer design. There is service design as well. Service design is also there, but we will not go deep into that. Just consider product design as a superset of UX design, wherein you are not just limited to your product. You think outside of it, that how our users live in the real life, how are users actually doing stuff when they are not involved with the app. Good. Saurabh Thakur is asking, any platform or a way to get problems of a design done by us? You mean feedback? Feedback can you post it anywhere, bro. Like you can post it on Medium, you can post it on um, LinkedIn and ask for feedback. You can post it on Behance and ask for feedback. There are tons of designers who will give you feedback. That's not going to be a big issue. How to be good in approaching design challenges? Always start with problems. If you think that there is a design challenge and it's not catering to any problem, don't take the design challenge. That will just be a time wastage for you. As I asked any platform to get criticism for our designs. Um, like I told you, dude, any platform that you can publish your design to, just publish your design. Instagram, publish your design and ask for feedback. There will be tons of people who can give you feedback. You can join WhatsApp groups, you can join LinkedIn groups that are specifically made for these things. So that's not a big issue. And if you form a team, like I told you, after this call, I would encourage everyone to form a team with of 3 or 4 people and then take up a project that revolves around a problem statement. Good, good, good. UXL is really good. It's a great app. You can you can check out this particular app for UX designers. Good. So according to you, does AI will replace UX designers or it will help me design faster and cleaner? It will be. Is anybody talking? AI will not replace UX designers, UI designers. um, feel free about that. Sir, why do you say about Google UX design? What do you say about your Google UX certificate course? Take it only if you can complete all 7 units of it. If you, I've seen people, friends of mine who complete first unit of it and then they assume they know everything. But if you complete all 7 units of it, only then you can get value out of it. How to stand out as UX designers? Whatever I told you in this presentation, apply that and you will be able to stand out. Portfolio up there in chat, one can connect. Okay, you sent your portfolio, good. The only American in here, I think. Oh, nice, Corbin. Learning a lot about India companies like Yulu. That's good. Check out Yulu app. Maybe you can do a redesign of it. There's no problem statement, of course. AI needs design too. That's good. How to present AI perfectly is something under research. Good. Yes, Sharma.design. You have your own personal website. That's good, man. Okay, never mind. Cool, guys. Last 2 minutes, and then I'll be jumping off the call. Last 2 minutes. Any questions you have regarding teaming up, regarding UX challenges or anything? That's good. Create teams. Can't focus enough on this. Okay, stop sharing my screen. How to approach big names. That will take a completely different session altogether on how you can approach Fang, or now people call it Mang, or some people call it Tang as Taang. Like they have replaced M with T, T for Tesla. Cool, guys. I think that's all. We can wrap this up. Can we wrap this up?
Uh, um, Hi Ajay. Yeah, students. So we'll wrap it up round. Give a thumbs up for big thumbs up for Ajay for giving us a wonderful session. Thank you, thank you. So Ajay, we really appreciate the time for taking the session for our students. We are grateful for the thoughts and experiences you shared with us. Indeed, a wonderful opportunity for our students to gain insights on UX design as a career. Thanks again for this wonderful session, and we hope to connect soon. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Guys.